Hello there. Today we're going to be doing the Sorceress. So I am actually going to attempt this challenge. No big deal if I fail, but we're going to be using the Sorceress here. So the Sorceress specializes in multistrike. She is actually quite sturdy with high block strength. Her base health is not great, but her movement speed is decent as well. Her attack speed is pretty good, and she hits for 5 times with her main attack, which is Chain Lightning, and then Force causes it to chain, and its base force of 3. She also has high Electrify chance and high crit damage. So one thing to note about the Sorceress is actually she has a really low angle to her attacks. So I believe the default angle is like 1% or 1 degree. So any percentage that you get isn't really going to change that much. So she can't really spread fire like, say, the archer can. So I've already been kind of looking at what I want to do here for the sorceress. Naturally, Mark of the Arrow is probably one of the best, but we'll think about that for a second here. I'm going to be running the Gorgon Mask just because I can, and the Broker's Cape. So both of these cause status effects. The Gorgon Mask causes damage for every slow effect and causes slow, while the Broker's Cape causes slow as well as other things. I'm also going to be running the Ring of Thunder here. Again, just kind of because I'm just trying to go with some random stuff here. When this is run on a character that already does, say, lightning damage and has an electrify chance, she does 50% chance, this creates a secondary chance at 15% for every hit that target takes. And since she already has basic multi-strike kind of built into her on a per level basis, I think it's every 10 levels she gets 4%. Double check that. Yeah, 4% every 10 levels. I have to select it again. I'm actually going to run attack speed over the multi-strike chance to kind of offset some of the linear gains there. Similarly, I'm going to run Berserker Boots. We're not going to get probably a whole lot out of the Berserker Boots unless we take some very specific talents through the mark. Now I am going to maybe run the Mark of Knowledge here. So this is the Sage's Mark. I believe you have to do Agony 3 or so with the Sage to get this. And all of our scrolls will be tomes instead of scrolls, which will allow us to pick exactly what we want every single time. This will allow me to do Kugelblitz, or as I call it, Lightning Ball, right away and be able to guarantee that we always have the upgrade we want. With the Ring of Thunder, I'm also running Elemental Resonator. I don't think I've run this before. I might have run this on the Exterminator for burn, but I don't remember how far back I unlocked this. It's been a while. So as far as I understand, this has a 2% chance for each of their own stacks to be applied again. This means that if the target already has Electrify stacks, they will get more Electrify stacks. I don't think this means a single stack. I think this means all of that type of stack. So it's only a 2% chance, so I figure that it's probably pretty strong, and I hope I'm reading that right. I'm also going to be running crit bonus. She has a base crit bonus of 100%, so this brings us to 145% crit. We're not going to have a whole lot of crit chance, but she does have 20% base crit chance as well. So let's get into it. This is probably the hardest area for the most part. I'm going to run it again. I ran the ice level last time, so we'll just go ahead and do this. We'll Start off with that. May want to banish some stuff early this run. I can get some early lightning mastery affinity in here. That might be good. So I am going to get rid of that. I'll keep the block strength for a moment. She does have really strong block strength. Hopefully we don't need it. But I don't want to catch myself in a situation where I do. I have never run this character on this level. So I probably shouldn't have taken that area. Area is not very good, at least by default, on her attack since it's so narrow. But it should help our lightning ball. Base crit chance lightning. So I probably want this right here, the elemental effect chance, so that we can get the blitz to do what it does. Base force would be interesting, as it gives us even more strikes. A lot of stuff going on here. Let's see here. Area range force, electrify chance. So we want probably the electrify chance as well over there. So this is only on our main weapon. This is all lightning. I would say that this game is relatively simple, but you do have to kind of read some of the parentheticals on a lot of these things to make sure that you're doing what you think you're doing. Like this is main weapon only. This is abilities plural. Sometimes it'll say ability singular, and that means just the singular ability. But this is weapon proficiency, so that doesn't make any sense because there's no ability attached to it. Anyway, we can do crit damage. We can do electrify chance. Both of those are really good. I'm going to go electrify. Lightning affinity early would be really powerful, I think. I'll take a couple points into pickup range as it shows up, and then I'll probably delete it. If you have it maxed out, you get 80% pickup. There's my lightning affinity. So an extra 30% isn't too much, but taking 2 of those for 60% and then banishing it is sometimes what I do, especially on levels I find a little trickier. But if you really get going, you have something that you really want, it doesn't really matter that much. So kind of, oops, that's not what I meant to push. I meant to grab that one, not that one. We'll just go range for now. I already screwed that up. I don't want to re-roll it again. Since we're still in the first few minutes of this video, I want to talk a little bit about my channel. I have been kind of doing these videos to figure out what I want to do with the channel. I am a programmer by day. I work on a side project with Ska Studios. That's kind of coming to a close. I'm kind of finishing up some different things there. And that's for Salt and Sanctuary. And this channel is kind of just a hobby for me, but you know, if I can make something out of it, that's cool too. So one of the things I'm trying to use this channel for is to share aspects of game dev and game design from my perspective, from my opinion. And I am a very mechanically focused game player, so I tend to enjoy games like Diablo. Back in the day, I really liked a lot of RTS games like Warcraft 3, StarCraft 1, StarCraft 2, Red Alert, Varian Sun, a lot of that stuff from back in the day there. What do we want here? Let's do movements. Always good on this level. And so what I'm looking to do is to kind of slowly convert this channel into a, well, already kind of what it is, but Zephyr Green Talks kind of situation. I mentioned this in other videos. No, that's not my real name. It's just my GitHub account. It's kind of my programmer identity. It's also what the Ska Studios Salt and Sanctuary community knows me as. So I've just kind of continued using it. Let's go lightning strikes. We don't want that. Take this. So as I continue forward with the last 3 or so videos, this is inclusive of this video, of my runs of Halls of Torment, I'm going to be moving on to doing some more game reviews with some focus on, game mechanics that has had some pretty positive responses to stuff like my Secret Sicker India video and whatnot with YouTube in general and the algorithm and whatnot. I want to do kind of a refresh update eventually on some Salt 2 stuff. Salt and Sacrifice had a big, free DLC, if you will, 4 new bosses, some stuff like that. Not as big as some other games might have done, but it is a smaller studio as well. So, I want to do some updates on some stuff that I'm somewhat interconnected with there, but I'm also working on, let's see here. Good chance. Sure. Also working on some other videos about mechanics themselves, my opinion on how they can be used, how they are used, things like that. So I'm working on some stuff in regards to things like mana cost in video games or resource cost more generally, threshold limitations and why I think they're good, and stuff like that. So I'm going to be focusing hopefully on kind of 3 major topics for this channel. So some of it's going to be more game development, where I show off little pieces of code or something I'm working on, whether it be for Salt and Sanctuary or elsewise, for my own personal reasons. Again, that's a lot of hobby stuff. It's not my day job. Even the Ska stuff is more of a side job. I do that more on the weekends. And then on top of that, I will be doing game reviews, but I am not going to be reviewing every single game out there. So I want that to be kind of known and understood. I will probably focus very heavily on indie games, but I will also be focusing on games that I have played very seriously. So, like, I could do a video on Halls of Torment because I have, I don't know, just a little over 100 hours, maybe 110 hours in this game. I don't know how much of that is accurate because I leave the game open sometimes and walk away. Real life comes into play with a lot of my game timers, so it's hard to always know. I don't want to just close everything and come back and figure out where I was. But I'll be focusing on some game reviews with more kind of mid-game, late-game understanding and review, talking again about mechanics, like I did with some of the Secret Sicker India video that I did. And then the third thing, I think I've talked about all 3, actually. So dedicated game mechanics videos, game reviews with mechanics kind of focus and actual playthrough. I will probably not do videos of games that I don't like. Not going to be beneficial, I think, to me to do that, because I want to actually go through games kind of deeply before actually doing a review. So if I didn't like something, I'm probably not going to post a YouTube video about it. So those are the three things. Kind of hobby project in game dev, and reviews, and game mechanics dedicated. That's not useful to pick up right now. So I do find it somewhat daunting. I'm still getting used to this. I do stream, well, not stream. I do record these live. I like being candid. I like being active with video. If I had the time, I'd probably stream live, but you'd be finding me streaming at weird hours, and no one would ever watch me. And I'm not exactly a big channel to begin with, so I'd rather just do these pre-recorded videos here. So, let's look at our electrify damage so far. We have broken 1,000,000 damage. It's pretty good. No idea how close we are for the lightning ball to actually do anything of value for the quest. But I'm going to say this is probably good for us. Lightning strikes is very good with crit, so just completely ignoring crit entirely is probably not the best. And while I do have minimal crit bonuses, crit chance bonuses, the lightning strike has pretty good base crit chance. No, it does not. Oh, it just has a really high crit bonus. Okay. Does this have crit chance? No, it doesn't. And it has a terrible crit bonus, so that one's not very useful. That one is purely intended for electrification. Electrocution? They call it electrify in the game, so we'll call it electrify. Base damage, attack speed area. Get more crit chance. Just a little bit. I want that elemental effect. Or I'll take that. So the last 3 videos for the Halls of Torment, outside of maybe some news and some stuff like that, the last 3 videos are going to be the Sorceress, the Beastmaster, and the Norseman. And the Norseman is kind of a dual-wielding barbarian. The Beastmaster is a spear thrower that both of these do ice damage in their kit. Both of them also do physical damage in their kit. So they're kind of a little different. Not sure what they're necessarily bad or good for. The Norseman does little ice novas every so many enemies hit. So he can kind of pop off pretty hard with ice novas going crazy. But you have to get quite a bit of attack speed, and he does gain attack speed on level. I will probably do a build something like that. I do enjoy either going kind of all in on attack speed or all in on damage or something like that. Attack speed, lightning, or elemental chance. Let's save that. Damage is good. That's tempting, honestly. 75% damage. I'm not running a whole lot of damage over here. I'm running a lot of status effect stuff. So I'm going to do crazy stuff here. I'm going to use all my rerolls here, and it's going to be bad. Get some movement speed. So you can see that between the main weapon and my 2 abilities, we're doing a lot of status procs here. What is this? Electrify applied, 264. 267. Probably dug a hole for myself here. Not what I want. Critical hits can apply electrify. Well, I like that. That seems pretty darn good. In other comments about the channel, the YouTube channel here, I'm not looking to become, you know, the next TV such and such, or, you know, super professional here with a lot of this. I'd like to act professional. Don't get me wrong. That would always be good. But I will be eventually slowing down with videos here and there. I've had some time to do these videos. I tend to record multiple videos in a day and then kind of just let them go through the week. Harder to do with this game than compared to, say, Bastion, which a lot of those videos are a lot shorter. But I'm not looking to do the clickbait thumbnail titles and various things like that. I am looking to kind of name the channel, name the subsections of the channel concisely, though, so that people know what's actually being shown. You know, obviously reviews are reviews. That's not too hard to know what those are, but. And everything's subject to change. I'm a small channel. I'm not making any money off of this, you know. I did some research this past week and did learn a little bit more how YouTube handles monetization. There are ads on this channel already. I don't have control over that because it is YouTube, you know, that they do have to make money to support the servers and all that. Let's just banish that. And I've definitely dug a hole for myself with what I'm trying to seek out here. But similarly, I'm not looking to stick around in the capacity to cover a single game. I will probably cover this game a little bit here and there for news, such as updates, because I am still playing it. I tend to play games when there's updates like anybody else. And I don't know what I'm going for here at this point. My talents are all over the place and not very useful. We're not falling too behind on damage, though. But yeah, I'll probably do some tips and tricks here and there for this game. Some tips and tricks or news postings for various other games. And as I play them. Planning on doing some specific game reviews soon. But I want to get some footage before actually just jumping into it. And not all the games I review are going to be brand new. They might be years old. You know, I did a whole playthrough of Bastion, played it on hard mode. It's not a new game. It just isn't. Just go damage. And I'm okay with that. I think games, as long as they're not like completely failing, I think games are pieces of art that should last beyond the timeline that they were made for. Obviously, graphics don't always hold up, and you know, gameplay might require some bug fixes here and there. Maybe it doesn't work perfectly on Windows 10 versus Windows 11, or whatever else comes along the way. Like, I know Bastion, I had a bunch of crashes here and there. Luckily, none of them were in any of the major recording sessions. Did have a couple in recording, but they happened right away. So I didn't have to do much to fix that. So one of my favorite games of all time is Diablo 2. Diablo 1 is kind of right next to it. And so I will be doing some content with those. Even if it's just kind of found footage, if you will. But I mod Diablo 2. I've modded Diablo 2 for many years. I find it fun to just kind of stretch my mind with what could be. Similar to how I modded Salt and Sanctuary. And definitely falling behind on damage here. And I want to show that off, and I want to share it again. So I will be actually simplifying some of what I currently have built for a Diablo mod. It was designed and built to be a very personal, experimental type thing. But I'm going to be simplifying it and shoring it up so that it's actually viable for sharing. It won't be as crazy or professional as like a private server might create. I know there's things like Project Diablo 2 out there. They do some pretty fancy code editing and whatnot. I can do a little bit of code editing for that game, but not as fancy as they're doing. And definitely not a private server. I don't really care for any of that. Maybe a reroll would be good. Still don't really care for any of that. I'll save my rerolls. I'm not going to say no to movement speed. It gives me attack speed from my boot. It's supposed to. I think that's this one. Yeah, we're getting 11 attack speed. Nothing crazy. Something. Nothing crazy. None of that is interesting to me. Rid of False Blessing here entirely. What's our electrify damage? So we're doing a ton of damage with electrify. It's kind of our only damage at the moment, though. So that is an issue. If we're not getting electrify procs, then we're not getting damage. But we've got the movement speed to kind of dodge through stuff and stay relatively safe. A red box. Here we go. Let's see here. 6-meter range. Main weapon or magic damage. That's interesting. Like I've said, I don't know if I've used this or not. If I have, it's only been for one run. I don't do any magic damage per se. I guess I do magic damage with the Gorgon Mask. So, kind of like the 6-meter range, though. Double the range. I'm going to take that. Seems good, at least to me. Double the range, but not a huge gain for the chance to fly. It's not a loss. I'm being a bit stubborn with these talent selections here, trait selections. I wanted something very specific, and I've been stuck for, what, 15 levels or something now? I did buy a new mic. I know somebody made a comment on my video, bad mic. And yeah, the mic I was using is about 6 years old. It is a basic, gaming-ish headset. It's nothing's fancy. And you can imagine that it is not very good by default. So not something I really thought about, but since I have been posting a lot of videos, it does make sense to have a not necessarily super expensive, but better microphone. And that's what I wanted right there the whole time. Let's get rid of crit chance entirely. So level 5. Electrify chance. We should probably clear out the 2 I saved there. Where is this box? Ah. I have no idea. I like having some easier decisions when it comes to certain things. Being able to just say, yeah, I want that crit bonus. I don't have to think about it too much. I think every game should have easier options than others. I play a good deal of, say, Dota 2. Played League back in the day, but I do prefer Dota. I think that there are some very relatively simple heroes in those kind of games that are... I don't want to call them newbie heroes because they still get played at like pro scene at the high skill sets and high skill levels and stuff. So they used to call him One Button King, Skeleton King, later renamed to Wraith King in Dota. And I think it's good to have simple. Hey, this is a big number. This is a simple concept type stuff mixed in with maybe some of the more complicated stuff. In Dota, you have heroes like Invoker who have like 10 spells that they rotate through using a special design of basically magicka. If you've played that, you don't have to use the order on Invoker, at least not now. There was a version of him, but you use 3 different colored orbs, and then you invoke your spells, and you can have 2 spells stored, and the orbs themselves give you passive bonuses as well. I don't really care for either of those, but I'll take the block, I guess. I think that's always good, to have a game have different levels of interaction, if you will. More thought-provoking or active-based gameplay styles, or more passive and I don't want to call it brain dead, but more mentally kind of in the zone kind of gameplay where you're not really having to do things necessarily fast or super specific orders, more strategic maybe versus more tactical, macro versus micro, those kind of things. I mean, if you think about it, even this game, it's pretty macro oriented. You're more focused on... I don't know how that affects. Is this melee? I don't know. Is there a way to see? I assume it's projectile, but it is an orb. So, is it considered a projectile and melee simultaneously, or... I ran into that already. But yeah, this game is, your focus is less active gameplay and more just kind of don't step on the enemy. Don't step on the purple things. You know, and I know some people will play certain characters in a certain way, and you can just take your hands off the keyboard for some of it. So I would consider this game a little bit more macro play, or more focused on these talents and traits and what you're doing with them than you're focused on specifically, you know, attacking. I mean, I've got auto aim and auto attack turned on. Yeah, I could do probably a little bit better damage or, you know, whatnot if I actually played this a little more twin stick shooter, but I don't have to. I can beat Agony 5 on pretty much every character on pretty much every level, just kind of screwing around. Okay, so if I double this, that's 100 attack speed. And I am going to do that. So let's see if this was affected in any way. Oh, good. Purely a projectile. Where are we at for electrify damage? 27 million damage from electrification. Electrify proc. However you want to say that. Any electrify. I still don't know if this is good or not because I'm not doing any other elemental damage types here. I have no idea. Ew. I don't want those. Leaves more puddles. Eh. Boring. No, it's actually probably not bad on this level. With the amount of stuff that just kind of chases you, it probably isn't that bad on this level to use bog boots. I've used them once, maybe twice, on one of the earlier levels. You know, it's the same thing as basically moving faster, but as long as you keep moving, your enemies are chasing you and getting slowed. I don't remember if those boots do damage as well. They might. It might be like the green slime stuff. Yeah, that seems good. Lots of electrify chance. Okay, let's go pick up some of these scrolls. It's been a while since I even tried. The long finger glove. Here we go. There's my electrify chance. More shockwaves and force. Sure. An electrify chance. There we go. Be like two right next to each other, probably down here. Yeah. Attack speed is probably actually really bad for me to pick up right now for a lot of these abilities. Since I already have the ethereal shift. Still not sure how I feel about the ethereal shift being in the game. It feels like it kind of forces you to go one way or another for a very, very strong bonus. But, you know, it outclasses a lot of your other stuff. Sure, we'll do that. I have no idea how much the Gorgon Mask is doing for us right now. It's really not. It's not doing a whole lot. I think I'd need, what is it, Transfixion, probably, for some slow, or other thing. I'd love to find a power-up right about now. 100% damage, something... Well, there are better ways to get power-ups and experience. I do think that movement speed is sometimes ignored, maybe for this reason. Being able to just traverse the map a little bit faster. Not just to avoid enemies, but to actually pick stuff up. You can definitely get pinned by enemies, but you know, going and finding all these pickups and stuff can be valuable. Speaking of pickups, which just invalidate part of my comment there. It just gives me the movement speed itself. Oh, there's too many enemies. There we go. Kill them all. Sure, we'll give it some more... I can't actually see it at the moment, so I don't know how big it is. It's pretty big. It's decent. Well, if we're not going to get it with that, then I have truly messed up how to do this. Go with Astronomer's Orbs here. There it is. Doubling that last, that level 9 there got me the quest. We'll change these orbs to lightning damage, and we'll just keep going. So here I'd probably go with this and the area, since I already have a lot of attack speed. Gotta get rid of the Ruthless there. Was that a 4 or a 5? I think I might have misread that. Here we go. Stand still and level up. I'm going to double the area here. And then take this shockwave. Not as good as when it was broken. Literally broken. But this level really does not like you standing still. Kill something, it explodes. It throws balls at you. It explodes under your feet. Everything hates you. My lightning ball is actually quite large right now. I am really getting pinned here. Let's just keep moving. One extra orb. We got 21 seconds here left on the clock. That's why everything's kind of going crazy here. Our electrify damage is... Where is it? 104 million damage. Not bad at all. Of course, we had to kind of focus that down pretty good, so... There's our boss. So, he's on the scene. Let's go pick up some stuff real quick. Ow! That spawned on top of me. Kind of. That was not the fairest thing in the world. Kind of blinked and walked into it, but still... Okay, there is the laser thing. If he doesn't instantly die to just random stuff hitting him. I didn't actually pick up the box up there. Whoops. I just want to see this. I've seen it before, but it's different. It said that there's more damage farther away it is from you. Well, I was going to do the quest, but I actually don't know what I'm looking for here. I think it's probably close to the bucket, but I'm not sure. I wasn't paying attention during the run. No, maybe I haven't done this weird orbit before. Where the boss is? Oh, he's over there. Hi, random boss. Where is it? Am I blind? Where'd it go? Too much going on right here. Oh, it's like behind the wall or something. There it is. Oh, nothing I care for. Too bad. Whoa. He's gonna die, though. Dead. Oh, I hit Agony 5, but I did die once. Right as the boss spawned one of those little Nova ball things. There we go. We got the Hugo Blitz Specialist. This did not do very good damage, but it did slow down enemies, so I'm not sure. I might be playing that with the Bog Boots, you know? Lots of slow there. So, yeah, I talked a little bit about, like, what the channel can be expected of as of this time to kind of embrace. You know, if that's something you're interested in, do give me a sub, a follow. And, you know, if you like this video specifically, give it a like, make a comment, something, you know. If you have recommendations for me to play a game, you know, I can't promise anything, but if I already have it in my inventory, or if I've already, you know, played the game, it makes it a lot easier, of course, too. But I'm just kind of like thinking about different ideas of games to review, games I just want to promote. Say, hey, here's a game that, you know, maybe people have heard of it, maybe people haven't, but I want to give my own take on it, you know. And beyond that, you know, I just hope you did enjoy the video and, you know, have a great day, you know. If you've made it this far, you've spent time listening to me ramble on about some different things, and I just hope that, you know, your day is somehow better for it. You know, just like, you know, liven the mood up, you know, a little bit, and maybe put a smile on your face. I don't know. But, you know, thanks for watching.